Happy Wednesday. Tiffany Ingram from eXp Realty here with Walsh and Tierney Jordan, founders of the Tierney Jordan Network. They are truly the power couple, crushing it out here in the real estate game, people. I am blessed to be part of such an amazing network of people giving selfishly or selflessly, I should say, of themselves. They are very successful, but they're never too big to give or too busy they're never too big or too busy to give back. Walsh and Tierney, why don't you take a moment to tell our listeners a little bit about who you are and the number one reason you are successful in real estate?
So Walsh, I'll let you start.
Well, we're Walsh and Tierney. Been doing real estate really pretty much since 1998. And I apologize, everyone. I'm going to a closing because in this pandemic, last month, we had a lot of deals, but some of the bigger deals were jumbo loans or non-QM. So a lot of those lenders pulled out. So I finally got this one deal back under contract, and we're closing it today. So I'm on my way here, but I gotta do something for my girl Tiffany. So she asked us to be here. We're here. But anyway, we've been doing real estate a long time. Last year alone, we closed over 700 transactions, did over 200 million. And from what we have done with this eXp platform, we're in 16 different states, and we're partnered with over close to like 300 agents throughout the United States and Canada. So yeah, that's just a little bit. And my wife, she's the true founder. She's the GOAT. She's the one who makes it happen. She's the leader. I'm just here to follow and, do what a good husband does. Just what you want me to do, baby? I got you.
Yeah. So I think he said it all. That's really our background. Where we were intrigued about the opportunity with eXp because it allowed us to branch off into different territories and partner with people like yourself, Tiffany, where we could grow together and build together. So we're excited about.
Oh, Walsh, I think Tierney froze up a little bit on us. You there, Tierney? You froze.
Yeah, I'm here because it looked like you froze, but was it me that froze?
It's crazy because on my side, it looked like you froze, and probably on your side, it looked like I froze. I don't know, but you were talking about just the great opportunity about eXp, and that's where it left off for me. I'm not sure, Walsh, if you heard something different.
Yeah, so we are excited about the opportunity with eXp because it really allowed us to expand our footprint into different states and provinces in Canada, as well as, we're talking to people in other countries now. We're talking to people in some countries in Europe. So we're excited about that opportunity, which we would have never had if we hadn't been given shared this model and platform here.
That's awesome. Greatness. Well, I just want to thank you both for taking time to chat with me about the state of the market. So let's jump right into it. So there are a lot of opinions out there about the current and future state of the real estate market. Someone said to me yesterday, it's the buyer's market. But what say you about the current and future state of the market? Is it possible that we are in a unique market where it is beneficial for both buyers and sellers to make a move right now?
It actually is, because you have to look at all aspects of the market to make a determination and figure out where the opportunities are. So right now we're in a different type of market because typically in March we have a seasonal shift, or So starting in March, so we're in May. So we would have like a seasonal shift of transactions that happen during the last couple of months. And we're not seeing that because of the pandemic. So we're seeing, so usually when you have a lot of sales, that means there's increased inventory. With increase, typically you see a decrease in demand and a decrease in pricing, you know, because buyers have more to choose from. that has been delayed because of the pandemic. We're not seeing that increase. So it has created somewhat of a seller's market, because sellers markets come with limited inventory, which increases demand and increases pricing. So if you're a seller and you're thinking about the fact that you're not in your forever home, take advantage of this opportunity right now, because we were pre-COVID-19, we were seeing a market decline, a market shift. So pricing going down, because we have seasonal shifts and we have market shifts. So our market shift every 5 to 7 years or so, and we've been on an upward market shift since 2012. So for 8 years. So normally we would have a seasonal shift and a market shift that wouldn't be good for sellers. But with the COVID-19, it's delayed that. So it's a great opportunity to take advantage of that and possibly, you know, get the most, well, you can definitely get the most the market will bear right now, and more than you'll probably get towards the end of the year when things go back to normal. Now, on the buyer side, the opportunity is in the interest rates. So if they're purchasing and using a loan, which most people do, the interest rates have gone down significantly. So even if you're paying a little bit more because of the limited inventory and high demand, even if you're paying a little bit more, it really doesn't matter, because when you look at the numbers, it's better to pay a little bit more with lower interest than to save on the pricing but pay a higher interest rate. When you look at the numbers overall, it's a better situation to purchase a little bit higher price point with a low interest rate, because that interest hits you like crazy when you look at it over time. So there's opportunity on both ends. So if you're thinking you're not in your forever spot, feel free to reach out to Tiffany to talk about either selling or purchasing.
Awesome. So that's a great segue into my next question. Some publications have insinuated that this pandemic will create or has created an inflated real estate market in the short term, and then it will lead us into a recession. Understanding that we can't predict the future, I mean, I'd like to get your thoughts on, what you're seeing firsthand.
Well, no, I don't agree that we're going to be led to inflation. The market's always going to correct itself. We don't need to, the government steps in when they need to, so when we had so many foreclosures and the market had to recover, the government came in and helped it recover quickly, So what they did is they lowered the interest rates to encourage buyers to purchase, and they removed all the distressed properties that were on the market through deed in lieu of foreclosure, short sales, selling portfolios of bad loans to investors on the back end, and then putting deed restrictions on those loans so they couldn't put them back in the market all at one time. So not only does the market correct itself, but if the government ever has to step in and fix some things, they will. So you're not going to see, if there's limited inventory, you're going to see buyers are going to demand the property. So they'll offer more and they appreciate the market, right? When you have a ton of sellers who want to sell at the same time, it just gives the buyers more opportunity. So what we see a fluctuation in value, but it's not so extreme to where the market isn't going to correct itself. And like I said, if we need a little bit of outside influence, we've seen it before and we'll continue to see it if we ever get to that place.
Awesome. So we as, real estate professionals, we've had to make some changes. We've had to make some adjustments. How have you pivoted during these times, and what adjustments or modifications have you made in your own business to help ease the anxiety of your buyers and sellers?
Just, educating them on what the real opportunity is for them. I mean, at the end of the day, we all need a place to live, so we're all gonna purchase a home. And hopefully we'll buy during times like now, when the interest rates are lower. Hopefully you'll listen to your realtor, because we can do predictive market analysis reports and look at you want to make sure you get with somebody who knows what they're doing, who knows how to look at current numbers, past numbers, and understands what the market's going to do, to advise you on when the best time is to buy or sell. So we're educating, with a seller right now, like I said, the prices are high, because of limited inventory. Now, could they go higher? Probably not. Like I said, we just came off an increase year over year since 2012. So those numbers do have to come down, and they will. It just has been paused briefly because of this pandemic that we're seeing, So now's the time to sell, because real estates are cyclical. They go up and they come down. They go up and they come down. So we've been on an upward shift. The next shift is downward. So now's the time to sell before we hit that downward shift. In terms of buyers, if you're using a loan, now is the time to buy while the rates are low. Could they go lower? Maybe. But what if they don't? What if they go up? So we can't, we can share what we think, what we know, use historical data to do that, what we're predicting based on all of that information. And that's what we're doing. So just last month, we helped over, just within our local team here, we helped over 21 buyers and sellers move and either sell a home or purchase a home in this current market. And it really just comes down to educating them.
Yeah, I mean, and then to add to that, it's really like you was talking about, like what should they do? You really need to get with someone that really knows the market, not just the market, but who has good connections, because as you and I know, in real estate, it takes a whole lot of people to make a deal go through. And if you don't have the right person who has the right connection, the right partnerships, a deal can go south real fast. So you want to get with someone who can educate their client, as well as understand what's going on, and be able to communicate with not only their client, with the other realtor, and the title company, inspection, everybody, to make sure the deal is done right and it gets to the gets done. Because if you get with someone who doesn't understand real estate all the way, don't have the right partnerships or connections, you can get in the middle of the deal and it goes south. And now your client is mad, they're upset. They, took 45 days to get to 45 days, and, it's not going to happen. Now they got to put their house back on the market, or they got to go look for another property, or if they don't have a realtor that knows how to win in certain situations, or keep a deal going, they can be out there 5-6 months frustrated. Now they don't want to do it no more. Now they're renting. Now they're paying somebody else's mortgage. So you want to make sure that you get with someone who really, not someone who's just fluff, someone who really has good relationships, has experience, and able to guide you through to help you, accomplish your dream of either selling or buying a home.
I totally agree. I know that, consumer confidence has shifted, obviously, and we know that there are buyers and sellers who may have decided to wait. So have you had any sellers? I mean, Walsh, I know you at the beginning of the call, at the beginning of the discussion, you talked about a couple of buyers that had fallen out. Have you had any sellers who have pulled their homes off the market because they now want to wait? And if so, how are you addressing that?
Well, I'll touch on it. I'll let Tierney touch on it. Basically, you have the whole thing, what's going on right now, in my opinion now, this is just my opinion, this is God slowing us down, letting the whole world slow down. We're moving too fast out here. But again, it's a situation where you want to have the clients, you want to be able to guide the clients and let them understand how we are pivoting in this market, how we can help them and their families stay less exposed to the coronavirus. We're going to do everything we can to get you the most, but also we're going to do other things. I'm going to let Tierney talk about some of the things that we're doing virtually to help the client understand that, hey, we're not going to expose your family unless it's someone that really wants the property. And when we do expose them, we're going to make sure that whoever comes into your property, they're going to have the right gear or attire to cut down on that exposure and to protect you, myself, and and the clients. So we're just educating, letting them understand, because in a situation like this, true leaders, they don't panic. So if a realtor is panicking and they don't know what to tell their client, of course the client's going to panic, and of course they're going to say, no, we're just going to wait. Well, that's not necessarily going to be the best advice, because you're getting the most right now because there's less inventory. So you're going to get more money for your home. So I'll let Tierney, touch on the rest of it.
Yeah, so just to piggyback, like Walsh said, we're educating our clients and we're letting them know what they'll make today compared to what they could make in the future, and compared to what they would have made in the past, so they can make the best decision on, is now the right time for them. So we're not pushing anybody, we're supporting them in what they want to do, but we're making sure they have the information to make the best decision. So if somebody's like, no, I don't want to do it because I don't want to expose my property to different people coming in and out that could be sick. So we share our process that has changed. What we do a 360 virtual tour of the entire property. We also make sure we provide a 3D layout of the property. We make sure that we have all the room dimensions. We're providing a map view, a street view, and a bird's eye view of the property. So pretty much, and we're also requiring that people drive by the home to see the neighborhood and see what it looks like in person from the outside, not just through the map view and the street view. So we're also providing them with the seller's disclosure up front. We're confirming that they either have a proof of funds statement or they have been approved by the lender. So by the time we check off all these boxes, and we're providing gloves, masks, and booties for everybody that does actually come in to the home. So by the time we go through all that, the buyer has, and sanitizer, the buyer has read the seller's disclosure. They've looked at all the upgrades on the property. They see the dimensions of the rooms. They see a 3D layout of the property. They get to walk through the property virtually. They've driven by the home. They look at it from a map view, a street view, a bird's eye view. They know the proximity to the highway from that map view. They know the proximity to their job. They know the proximity to the stores. So all this stuff is done in advance, right? When we finally have the people, after reviewing all that information, that want to see the home, we're seeing it's like one or two that are serious, and then they're the ones that are going to make an offer on the property. So once we explain that all the information, most sellers are more at ease with that. And actually, we decided to just change our process as a whole, because this is actually a more efficient way to do business anyway. So the pandemic exposed some opportunities for growth in our business. And we jumped right on it, and I'm grateful for it. And like I said, we support people, but we just want to make sure they have all the information to make their decision. So once we tell people the real opportunity, most people move forward if now is the time, and they don't want to lose money, and they're truly not in their forever home.
I mean, but with that process, who wouldn't want to move forward? I mean, you can be extremely confident if all of the T's are crossed, all the I's are dotted. You've taken every single precaution to make sure that the sellers are safe, to make sure that the buyers are safe. Who wouldn't want to move forward? Like it,
Right.
The world doesn't have to come to an end because we're faced with a pandemic. I think there is a message behind the pandemic, and we need to make sure that we're getting the message, but staying clean and being cautious, those are things that we should have been doing anyway, right?
Exactly. Yes, you're absolutely right.
Well,
one other thing I left out. So one other step that we do is for the showings, of course, everything's approved by the seller. It's during a time that works for them. The sellers will leave the property, but before leaving the home for an appointment that's coming, the sellers turn on all the lights, open up all the closet doors, open up a few cabinets. So even though the buyers are gloved and masked and have booties on, they really don't have to touch anything because everything's been opened by the seller.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, that's really, really great. And it gives me confidence, right? So definitely sellers and buyers should have confidence to move forward with transactions. I'm sure you all will agree that, you know, when I say this, but there is never really a bad time to be in real estate. You just have to know how to move when the market shifts. And if you have a savvy realtor on your side and on your team, you obviously will be able to navigate through whatever challenging times we're faced with. Before we wrap up, I wanted to ask, is there anything else that you would like to leave with our listening audience who may still kind of be on the fence about buying or selling? I don't know how they would be after that last bit of information, but that are still on the fence. How would you address them?
I would just say reach out. Let us do a predictive market analysis report for you. Let us give you some information to look at so you can see like what the prices were, you know, a couple years ago, what the prices are now, and what we predict the prices will be. We'll also look at, that's from a seller's perspective. From a buyer's perspective, you know, let us share with you how much you could get a home for right now. With the interest rates being so low, you're not spending as much on interest, so you get to buy more house. So reach out to us. Let's just have a conversation so you can see what the opportunities are before you just say no to it. Know what you're saying no to. That's what I always tell people. Know what it is you're saying no to. Educate yourself, get all the information, and see if it's something that makes sense for you.
Yeah, and I would say reach out to Tiffany because, like, she has some relationships. We all do, but reach out to Tiffany because we have some great relationship with some builders right now that, you know, with some great incentives. So it's just a great time. I mean, you know, you can be one of those people. You can look at it half empty or half full, but at the end of the day, knowing if you're reaching out to, like, you know, whoever, but if you're reaching out to Tiffany, it's a situation where you know you have an experienced realtor, you know you have someone who not only is there, you know, to help you, but she has a whole team behind her to help you get the best possible deal. So definitely look into it and keep your mind open to it because the world's gonna move. And if you really think about the whole thing, they just open it up, they slowly open it up. So I'm not sure, but I don't want to really speak on that about the jobs, but I feel like, you know, people will get some jobs. I'm sorry, I lost you guys. Someone was calling me. You know, I feel like people will get some jobs back. The market will open back up even, you know, more. And But right now you can take advantage of a lot of great opportunities for buyers and sellers. So it's a great time.
Yeah, and there are companies that are still hiring, so look for those. If you're out of work, look for those companies that are hiring. I know Fidelity opened up 300 job opportunities. So if you're looking for something, feel free to inquire about the companies that have started hiring because they need more help, because they've seen an increase in business come their way. And if you guys need support, our network, reach out to Tiffany. Our network is providing food. If you need, we've delivered cleaning supplies, gloves to people who don't have them. So feel free to reach out for that as well.
Because we want to remain sensitive to people who are, it's trying times, but at the same time, the world is still moving. And we're here to provide you and make it as safe as possible for you. So if you need help either way, personally, or we're looking for a house or selling, we're all here for you.
Awesome. So I want to just thank you guys again. I've heard it said that our network, or I'm sorry, let me say that correctly. I've heard it said that our net worth is our network. And so I can personally say that I have become a much better agent because of the relationships that I've been able to forge here at eXp Realty. People like you, Tierney, people like Walsh, and many others who have helped me to go above and beyond my comfort level. And for that, I'll be forever grateful. For any agents that are out there looking for a network of people who are supportive, knowledgeable, and have the heart of a teacher, look no further. You found it here. Click the link below for more details on how you can join our dynamic network. Thank you.
Thank you.
And reach out to Tiffany because she's a rock star. Good job, Tiff.
Thank you.